Hi everyone, my name is Heidi. I'm a Malaysian children's author and welcome to this segment of my channel called Kidlit with Heidi, where we will discover the world through stories, books, art, and more. Today I want to do something a little bit different. So far I've told you a poem, I've read you the story of Timon Mas in Malay, and I told you a few folktales as well. But this week I want to do a review of a movie I watched a few weeks ago. In the introduction video to this series, I already mentioned that we'll be doing lots of fun things, including review of books and movies. For me, watching a good movie or TV series is a good way to get inspiration for my stories. Of course, reading a book is a lot better because your mind sort of fills in the gaps and it creates pictures in your mind, and this is really good for your brain and it stimulates your imagination. If you watch a movie, this step is removed because the visuals are supplied to you on the screen, so your brain doesn't have to work that hard. But sometimes it's actually quite nice to sit back and enjoy a good film, especially if it's an interesting story and has beautiful images. Now, the movie I want to review today is quite an old anime from Studio Ghibli, Japan. The Cat Returns. It's on Netflix. You can watch it if you have Netflix, and it's in Japanese with subtitles. Now, of course, you can change it to English, but I always find that with foreign films, I don't really like to switch to English because I'm afraid I might lose something. So I prefer to just read the subtitles. So you can try that. Watch it in Japanese and read the subtitles. So let's get on with the review of The Cat Returns. The Cat Returns is quite an old anime from 2002, and it's not as popular as their other films like Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Totoro. Anyway, I just decided to watch it the other day because I remember watching another Ghibli film called Whisper of the Heart. Now, this is an even older anime from 1995, and in this story, there was a character that I liked, a cat statue by the name of Baron Humbert von Gikkingen, or just the Baron. You can call him the Baron because his name is quite long. The Baron becomes one of the main characters in The Cat Returns, which came out in 2002. I like how Studio Ghibli used one of its characters from an earlier movie for something new, like a spin-off. I like how this cat statue comes to life on the screen. So the Baron is a statue of an anthropomorphic cat. That's just a fancy way of saying animals who take on human form. The Baron is always properly dressed in his top hat and his nice shoes, and he likes to drink tea. He is very refined and sophisticated. So this movie falls within the Studio Ghibli franchise, but it was directed by someone else, by a person called Hiroyuki Morita, which is why it feels a little different from the usual Ghibli films. It's more lighthearted and playful, but it does take some dramatic turns, especially when the main character Haru ends up in the kingdom of the cats. In fact, some of the scenes can be a bit violent, so just beware. Essentially, it's about a schoolgirl named Haru who is cursed with bad luck. One day, she saves a cat from being run over, and she discovers that she can actually speak to cats. And this particular cat is actually a prince from the kingdom of the cats, from the cat kingdom. That night, his father, the king, pays a visit to Haru to thank her, and by some misunderstanding, she ends up being engaged to the prince. She seeks the help of the Baron and his grumpy friend Muta, and I think I remember seeing Muta in the earlier film, Whisper of the Heart, as well. Muta is one of my favorite characters because he reminds me of one of my cats. Now, I won't give any spoilers, but I really like this film because it's about cats, and I do love my cats. Although it's not the usual kind of Ghibli movies, these tend to be more dark and more intense. I enjoyed it because it was playful and it was a fun ride. Sometimes it's just nice to escape from reality for a bit. So here's a little bit of trivia about this movie. This animation began as a 20-minute short animated film commissioned by a theme park. After the park cancelled the project, Hayao Miyazaki asked Morita, the director, to to turn it into a 45-minute film, but this was eventually extended to a full 75 minutes when Morita submitted a 525-page storyboard. So that was my review of The Cat Returns. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And check it out if you have time. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.